The October 24th meeting of the Ways and Means Committee will now come to order. Let's see out of these things. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Andrews, Mr. Antelli, Mr. Daniele, Mr. Gamina is excused. Mr. Haney, Mr. Hanna, Ms. Kaylee, Mr. McCann, Mr. O'Brien, Mr. Tucciarello, Chairman Yolovich.
Here. Are there any speakers signed up for the public forum?
There are not.
Is there anyone here who would like to speak that is not signed up? Hearing none, the next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. You have the minutes from the September 26th, 2012 meeting in your folder. They will stand approved unless the clerk is notified of any changes by the end of the day. Next item is new business. Madam Clerk.
Referral 12-279.
Moved by Legislator McCann, seconded by Legislator Daniele. Is there any discussion? Legislator Andrews. Excuse me, I'm so used to saying Haney, I had to stop and think a second.
Oh, okay. Thank you. No problem. I just have one quick question. I think this sounds like a great program. My only concern, and I'm not familiar with it sounds like it's been implemented in some places throughout the state. And in those places, have we talked with them at all to see if there's any concern here about increased identity theft with, you know, a yellow dot on a car specifically identifying where these documents are kept in that vehicle? Thank you, through the chair.
Hello, Lieutenant Dave Phelps from Sheriff's Office Administration. The information in the yellow dot packet through the chair is primarily medical of nature. In your vehicle, you already have plenty of identification. If in most of the case, we're stolen, you get your purse, your wallet. Those items are in a break-in are going to be taken. Documents of this nature, it's very rare to have personal documents in a glove box taken. Most of the car larcenies that we have strictly focus on the GPS unit, purse, things of that nature, so that it's probably a very low risk. There has not been any instance that have come to my attention. This particular program is sponsored by the New York State Sheriff's Association, so they did vet it, because that's one of our concerns. We don't want to have create a problem of that nature and have it tracks back to law enforcement.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the answer.
Actually, I've had a few discussions on this myself, and this is actually being done all around the country, not just in New York State. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 12-285.
Moved by Legislator Daniele, seconded by Legislator Tucciarello. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 12-286.
Moved by Legislator Tucciarello, seconded by Legislator Antelli. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Legislator Haney.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, my traditional question of what is the status of the backlog problem? Are we gaining, losing, holding our own?
Through the chair, John Clark from the Monroe County Crime Laboratory. We have been holding steady, but we have seen some recent improvement with the implementation of our recent Lean Six Sigma project in the DNA section of the laboratory. Just for this past month, they set a goal of completing 48 DNA cases, and they've already surpassed that this month, and I think they're up to 56 completed cases for the month of October.
Through the chair, in terms of time, what is the backlog now? How long does it take to get a case processed?
Through the chair, it's going to depend on the amount of evidence involved in the case. It could take anywhere from 5 days, or the case can sit in the queue or be waiting for several months, depending on the deadline for that case, such as court dates or if it's needed for investigative purposes.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 12-287.
Moved by Legislator Antelli, seconded by Legislator Hanna. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 12-288.
Moved by
acceptance.
legislator Hannah, seconded by legislator McCann. Is there any discussion? Legislator Andrews.
Thank you. Through you to the administration, could I just get a brief explanation of how this money is used in our area specifically and what sort of special weapons and tactics team we have? Thank you.
Fred Ryan, Monroe County Office of Emergency Management. The grant that we're referencing here is primarily, it's a law enforcement terrorism prevention grant, and the equipment purchased through this grant award goes to equipment for special operations teams for the County Sheriff's Department.
Thank you. Through the chair, what do those teams do, though? I guess my question is.
Through the chair, the teams include SWAT team, scuba team, all the special operations teams of the Sheriff's Department.
Thank you. Would it be possible to request through the chair, like some sort of a write-up in terms of what work? I mean, how are they deployed, or what does the team kind of do on a day-to-day basis? Just get a better understanding of its function and purpose, I guess, to have a special operations team like this.
Lieutenant Phelps, again, through the chair, I can answer some of that. A great deal, the original SWAT team purpose was based on criminal arrest and barricaded gunmen. Through a tremendous amount of funding through this grant and grants like it, we've been able to provide a much higher level of training, which has shifted to dealing with in a major terrorist event within the county of Rochester and surrounding areas. The team has much higher level tactics and equipment, including small robots and things that can go in places that we wouldn't want to send people. We actually have radiation detection devices, things that 10 years ago, prior to grants like this, we never would have had. The training has changed tremendously to gear toward a terrorist event, as they would be the first responding team, along with the hazard device unit and hostage negotiators, and it's quite extensive.
Thank you. And then just through the chair, I mean, does that equipment get used on a day-to-day basis?
We hope not.
But so, no, I understand, obviously, for like a major terrorist attack, that would be everyone's hope. But is it equipment that we purchase in case of something like that, or does it serve another purpose? I mean, can you use some of the robots or some of the equipment you just referenced for smaller scale problems or issues that occur?
Yes, through the chair, being a former SWAT member, there are many things that I did 10 years ago that we no longer put humans in risk for. The robots have been used, as well as other devices that we have that has made the job much safer. The majority of bomb disposal now, other than small devices, robots now go in. We have a couple of different ones that we use. The intelligence gathering, the actual SWAT van itself is an unbelievable state-of-the-art technology that allows us to do a lot of things that we could not do. So that is used on day-to-day operations.
Great. Thank you very much.
Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 12-289. Acceptance.
Moved by legislator McCann, second by legislator Daniele. Is there any discussion? Legislator Cayley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to ask through you to the administration about the citizen and community preparedness portion of this grant. And since it's not explicitly defined as a particular program that's already in process, I'd like to know how this relates to the CERT certification that happens in the Monroe County area for the Citizens Emergency Preparedness Team.
Through the chair, the funding for this particular project is going towards instruction for first responders through course offerings through MCC. I believe that's what you're referencing in the referral.
I'm not sure that I'm speaking of the third dot down, the citizen and community preparedness, through the chair. There is a program in existence that works through the Monroe County training facility that is CERT, Citizens Emergency Response Team, and it's been training community people since shortly after 9/11, and I'm wondering if this is in concert with that program, because if this is a citizen and community preparedness, it's almost a second program that we have found the CERT program to be extremely responsive to the needs of the community on an ongoing basis as volunteers as well. So is this the same thing through the chair?
Through the chair, yes, this is the same program.
Thank you.
Is there any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 12-290.
Moved by legislator Daniele, seconded by legislator Tucciarello. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 12-291.
Moved by
authorize-
legislator Tucciarello, seconded by legislator Antelli. Is there any discussion? Legislator Kaley.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Through the chair to the administration, is this evaluation of the evaluation of promotional procedures at the sheriff's office, is this a mandated evaluation that happens on a yearly basis? Could you explain why we do this every year?
Through the chair, that this is not an evaluation of existing like promotional process. It's an evaluation of when you do a promotional exam, the evaluation is the design of the exam and the completion of the exam. Ms. Abrams takes the job task description from the department and to fill the needs and skills required. She then creates the exam and then monitors the exam and makes sure that it meets state law, civil service requirements.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 12-292.
Last-
authorize-
Moved by legislator Antelli, seconded by legislator Hanna. Is there any discussion? Legislator Haney.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I note from the transmittal that this event was held a month ago. Why is the contract coming to us ex post facto? Would you like that little legal phrase I threw in?
I'm not exactly sure as the specifics. I can tell you that we have been doing this, I believe, since 2005, and I believe there was a legislative reason.
Through the chair, Scott Adair, Director of Finance. I believe the issue was that the way the contract back and forth between the Sheriff's Department and the county and the marathon organizers, there was a delay and it was not able to meet the last cycle's timing. Okay. So we ultimately brought it forward, even though it is after the fact.
Okay. But this is not a new arrangement. This is something that's been going on for several years.
Through the chair, that is correct, yes.
Okay. These activities by police agencies are very expensive, and most of the sponsors really have no idea how expensive they are. Would you have any idea? I mean, we're recovering $15,000. I would suspect that our cost for providing the services is well more than $15,000, because usually the people that do it are on overtime and everything. Do you have any idea what the actual cost of providing these services for this event were?
Through the chair, there is an exact dollar amount, and then it was put forward as up to $15,000. The total estimated amount due from the client was $14,188.24. That is actually broken down by full man hours, not just pay, but benefits in addition. So, for example, 160 deputy man hours that were allocated were a rate of $71.57 per hour, which is not your standard pay rate. That takes into account the full benefits that the county would be liable for. So all expenses by the county are recovered.
So this is recovering the full cost?
Through the chair, yes, sir.
Oh, great.
Any further discussion? President Adair.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to compliment the Sheriff's Department on the outstanding job they did that day on the marathon and all the other municipalities that participated in it. I also would like to congratulate all of the marathon runners that completed that grueling race that are within this building right now. In fact, in this room. Congratulations. You know who you are.
Not me. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 12-293.
Moved by legislator Hannah, seconded by legislator McCann. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 12-294.
Moved by legislator McCann, seconded by legislator Daniele. Is there any discussion? Legislator Cayley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you to the administration, not having been on Ways and Means or Public Safety last year, I wondered for my own information, is this a rate increase at all from 2011, or is this the same?
Through the chair, we have essentially the same agreement with a number of municipalities that we have this fuel contract with. Wrong one? My bad.
Wrong one. Excuse me, am I in the wrong one? No, I'm on the right one. Through you, we're talking about the jail this time. That's all right.
Through the chair, we've had the same standing agreement with the Rochester Police for quite some time.
Through you, through the chair, when you say same agreement, are you saying, I'm asking specifically about the amount of the contract or the agreement? Yeah. Has that gone up or down in the last?
No, it has remained the same.
Could I ask whether you may, through the chair, you may not have the information here, but has there been an increase in detainees from 2010, 11 through 12? Is it possible that you might have that information here, or could I submit a request for it?
You can certainly submit a request for that. We do have, our inmate population is tracked and maintained, and how many of those were RPD pending arraignment inmates. We do have that information. I can get that from the superintendent of the jail. I do not have that information handy.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 12-295.
Moved by legislator Daniele, seconded by legislator Tucciarello. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 12-296.
Moved by legislator Tucciarello, seconded by legislator Antelli. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 12-297.
Moved by legislator Antelli, seconded by legislator Hannah. Is there any discussion? Legislator Haney.
This is a quick question, Mr. Chairman, and I'm still trying to understand how the HEAP program works, but do I now understand that the money that the county receives, this $64,000 plus the other money, is only used for administration and not used for any of the benefits, or am I wrong?
Through the chair, that's correct. The $64,000 is to administer the early outreach program for this HEAP season.
Okay, and the actual benefits are all direct charge to the state or somebody without flowing through the county?
Through the chair, for the most part, that's correct. There's some payments that do flow directly through the county, but we receive a separate allocation, dollar for dollar, to account for them.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 12-298.
Moved by legislator Hannah, seconded by legislator McCann. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 12-299.
Moved by legislator McCann, seconded by legislator Daniele. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 12-300.
Moved by legislator Daniele, seconded by legislator Tucciarello. Is there any discussion? Legislator Haney.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, do you have any information as to how what the trend lines are on these sexually transmitted diseases? I mean, they were going up for some time. Is that still the case? Or are we holding our own, or maybe hopefully declining? Or?
Doc, turn your mic on.
It's not here.
Through you, Mr. Chair. At Human Services Committee meeting on Monday, there was a request for a little report on exactly the same thing, which we will forward.
I withdraw my question. If someone else has asked for it, need to rehash it.
Thank you, Dr. Doniger. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 12-301.
Moved by legislator Tucciarello, seconded by legislator Antelli. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 12-303.
Moved by legislator Antelli, seconded by legislator Hannah. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 12-304.
Moved by legislator Hannah, seconded by legislator McCann. Is there any discussion? Legislator Kaley.
Question quickly, through the chair, how long does it take to find the clerical errors? I guess the process in finding the clerical errors, if you didn't know to look for them. Thank you.
It's not working.
Through the chair, it depends on, what the error is, and when the property owner asked the assessor's office for a correction based on that error.
Thank you. So, in other words, through the chair, a clerical error could go on longer than a year?
Through the chair, that's correct.
And then, if proven to be, through the chair, a clerical error, is the funding returned? I didn't see if it's returned with interest or just as it was paid out. Thank you.
Through the chair, it depends. It's just refunded. There is no interest.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 12-305.
Moved by legislator McCann, seconded by legislator Daniele. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 12-307.
Moved by legislator Daniele, seconded by legislator Tucciarello. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 12-308.
Moved by legislator Tucciarello, seconded by legislator Antelli. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 12-309.
Moved by legislator Antelli, seconded by legislator Hannah. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Is there any unfinished business to come before this committee? Legislator Haney.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Since our last committee meeting, the committee has received I guess it's the second quarter. Oh dear, I'm blanking. The report that
I have retrieval problems myself, Paul.
that Mr. Adair does. And I just have one or two questions about it. Through you, Mr. Chairman, as I understand it, basically we're expecting that this year's budget is basically about breaking even?
Through the chair, at the end of the second quarter, that's correct, yes.
Okay. And the other question, sales tax revenues, how do sales tax revenues factor in here? I mean, sales tax revenues are up substantially this year, although the second payment in October was down. But cumulatively, sales tax collections are running well above our estimates, and the county's net sales tax revenue could easily be several $1 million over what was budgeted. Is that factored into the conclusions that are being reached in the report?
Through the chair, yes, it is.
Okay, so if I assume if sales tax revenues are then running well over budget, that there are other revenues that are running substantially under budget, or expenses, something's offsetting it someplace?
Through the chair, that's correct, yes.
Could you give us some idea as to what the offsets are?
Through the chair, one of the offsets would be from the fact of one of the miscellaneous revenue items that we had budgeted for, or two of them, I'll use the sale of buildings and the sale of tax liens, could be adjusted downwards to fill the hole fill the gap that's created once we have additional sales tax revenue returning to the county.
Okay,
that's probably the primary one.
Oh, that's correct. I had forgotten about those. So that the overrun in sales tax is in effect going to hold us harmless since we've not been able to sell the buildings. Is that right? I hear you saying?
Through the chair, that is a correct statement, yes.
Right. And finally, do you still think that before the end of the year you'll be selling some tax liens, or will this be good enough that you won't have to sell?
Through the chair, we are anticipating a sale of some tax liens. We're going through the process now trying to determine the amount of those.
Okay, you just won't be selling as much as you anticipated a year ago?
Through the chair, that is correct.
Thank you very much.
Is there any further unfinished business? There being no further unfinished business, the October 24th, 2012 meeting of the Ways and Means Committee stands adjourned. The next meeting of the Ways and Means Committee is scheduled for November 28, 2012. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.